This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hi there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Douglas. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe on this date. And on this day, August the 8th, it's not 88. I already did one last year about it. But in 92, 4 years later, the Dream Team won the gold medal. It was kind of to be expected, but I mean, seriously, how they did it was just huge. So anyway, there's a lot of context. Well, these guys are in the U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame, the Naismith Hall of Fame, the basketball, and the FIBA Hall of Fame. 11 players and 3 coaches have been inducted individually into the Naismith Hall of Fame. That's amazing. I think everyone except for Christian Laettner. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So anyway, there's a background. Prior to the 92 Olympics, FIBA, or the Basketball International Body, said that NBA players could not participate in the Olympics, and only amateurs were eligible for the U.S. teams, which were comprised of collegiate players. But other countries could use their best players from their domestic professional leagues. Now, it actually did work out for the Americans. I mean, except for 72 and 88, the Americans won gold. 72, they were robbed by a British official. And I think that he was a little corrupt because I think he said the Americans have to learn how to lose. So I think they were tired of the Americans always winning. And in 88, somehow, in some way, they took bronze. But yeah, it only happened twice. But that was enough for FIBA to finally change the rules and allowed the NBA to have their players participate. 56-13. In fact, the U.S. Amateur Basketball Association voted against it. Well, because colleges and high schools that make up most of the constituency were opposed of it. The Soviets wanted a proposal to limit national teams to 2 NBA players for the first years, was rejected. So USA Basketball needed some players, and they were huge. But the league was unenthusiastic. However, they did bring some guys coming in. So they found out all these things. The first 10 players were selected September 91. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, John Stockton, Karl Malone, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Patrick Ewing, Chris Mullin, David Robinson, and Charles Barkley. And then in May of 92, they went with Clyde Drexler over Isaiah Thomas, which was shocking because Chuck Daly was the Detroit head coach and the coach of the American Olympic team. And the U.S. basketball community said they would allow one collegian to play for the team. And shockingly, Christian Laettner from Duke would be selected over Shaq of LSU. And a lot of the players were at their peaks and all that. Larry Bird was having his back troubles, but they decided to put him on the team because of the historic nature. And David Robinson played for the 88 team when there was an amateur. Now, the strange thing was that Magic Johnson had retired because of his HIV virus. So people were thinking that Magic would not be able to play in the Olympics and all that. And anyway, the Australian Olympic delegation said they would boycott the games if Magic Johnson was there. However, Johnson received more public support, so the plan backfired. Ewing, MJ, and Mullin actually were part of the 84 team that won the Olympic gold medal in Los Angeles, as amateurs. And Karl Malone almost made that team in 84, but he failed. So anyway, Michael Jordan could have been the team captain, but he declined. It would be Larry Bird and Magic Johnson being co-captains. And a lot of people were shocked that Isaiah Thomas was left off the team. And some say it was MJ's fault because if Isaiah was on the squad, he would say no. Because, MJ and Isaiah had that big rivalry in the late 80s, early 90s and all that. So, anyway. a lot of people said that. Magic Johnson actually said that Isaiah killed his own chances when it came to the Olympics. Nobody wanted to play on the team with him. It wasn't just MJ. And then other people were shocked that Leitner went over Shaq. You know, Shaq was the number one pick in the 92 NBA draft. But I mean, Duke won back-to-back titles, so I guess that was how he did it. And all that. His college success and all that. Christian Leitner was just that good. But anyway, it didn't matter. So they played in this thing called the Tournament of the Americas, which is kind of a Olympic qualifying event. Strange that it would be in June of '92, and the Olympics were just in August. Anyway, so in Portland, they would host the Tournament of the Americas. The team crushed Cuba in the first game, 136-57. All that. In fact, the Americans were so powerful that opposing teams would want to take photos with them. The Americans crushed Venezuela 127-80 to win the tournament and make the Olympics. All that. So it would be U.S., Venezuela, Puerto Rico, and Brazil making the Olympics. I wish Canada was in, but Canada was second in the preliminary pool in Group A and got through to the quarterfinals. But Venezuela sunk us. So, yeah, Venezuela then beat Brazil to get into the championship. Wish Canada did it. Fuck. We had a chance. We fucked up. Anyway, didn't matter. So the team trained for the Olympics in Monaco for 6 days. The squad spent time enjoying the new beaches and all that. Anyway. Yeah, there was no curfew, which was shocked. So, anyway. The dream team did not go to the Olympic Village because of security concerns. And there were only 4 guards at the gate. And he didn't like the Olympic Village's beds, Chuck Daly did, because his 2 key athletes were over 7 feet tall. So they went to Barcelona's Hotel Ambassador. So, anyway. MJ was actually the only player to study game tapes of the opposition, which was shocking. But yeah, you know. But Canada, but the Americans were just that damn dominant. At the Olympics, they crushed Angola 116-48. They beat up on Croatia, who had Toni Kukoc on the team, 103-70. They crushed Germany 111-68. Brazil 127-83. And Spain 122-81. So the Americans were just unstoppable. The Americans went in the quarters against Puerto Rico and crushed them by 38 points, 115-77. In the semis against Lithuania, they crushed them 127-76 for a 51-point win. Lithuania did get bronze, by the way. And in the gold medal game on August the 8th, 1992, the U.S. would take on Croatia. First Olympics as an independent nation. And Croatia actually kept it close. They were down by 14 at the half. So, to give you some context here, in the first half, as I look through the numbers, that was the closest the Americans were leading at the half was 14. Second closest was up by 17 at the half against Croatia in their preliminary round game. But the Americans won scoring away, easily winning 117-85. MJ put up 22 points in the finale, Ewing with the most rebounds at 6, and Magic Johnson the most assists at 6. Croatia had Toni Kukoc doing good in assists. Dino Rajov, former Boston big man, would be better rebounds, and Razin Drazen Petrovic was the hero with 24 points for Croatia. Unfortunately, Petrovic would die in Germany in an auto accident the next year. So it was just shocking. Of the 12 players on the team, only 2 didn't play in all 8 games. Magic Johnson only played in 6, and John Stockton only played in 4. So it was amazing and all that. And you would think, oh, Michael Jordan led the team in points per game. No. In the Olympics, no. It wasn't him. It was, surprisingly, Charles Barkley, 18 points per game. And I believe this was just before. I wonder, I think, was Barkley traded to Phoenix at the time? Because I know Barkley won the MVP the first year he was in Phoenix colors instead of being in Philadelphia. But yeah, Charles Barkley did all that. Michael Jordan would be the only player on the squad to start in every game. Like there would be people who would start. Barkley only started in 4. Bird started in 3. Draxler 3. Ewing 4. Magic 5. Christian Laettner never started. Neither did John Stockton. Karl Malone started in 4 games. Chris Mullin started in 2. Pippen 3. And David Robinson 4. So you could tell how humongous the Americans were. All of that. Anyway, it's just shocking and all that to see how good the Americans were. And that 32-point win in the final was the closest the Americans had. They had outscored their opponents by at least 40 points almost every time. Croatia, I believe, was the only team to hold them under 40 points point margin. I don't remember, but anyway, yeah, Croatia played the Americans the hardest. Wonder if Canada, yeah, Canada would have been crushed, but never mind. So yeah, so everyone got into the Hall of Fame except for Christian Laettner. Well, as an individual, I don't think Christian Laettner had a Hall of Fame career or ever will. But he's in the Hall of Fame as part of the Dream Team, so can't be bothered with that. So yeah, the Americans would dominate. 96, they would win the gold medal in Atlanta, and Shaquille O'Neal actually nearly wasn't playing for the team because the Olympics soft drink sponsor was Coca-Cola, and Shaq was a Pepsi guy. But anyway, 2000, the Americans won the gold medal thanks to Vince Carter's dunk of death on Frederick Weiss, who never went to the NBA. 2004, they shockingly lost to Puerto Rico and ended up getting a bronze. 2008, they crushed it. 2012, they crushed it. 2016 and 2020. So the Americans are just that damn dominant. Professional or amateur, they are the kings of Olympic basketball. Don't you forget it. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.